Hey there, I hope that you are doing well today. Welcome to another episode of Life at a Glance podcast. Y'all, I'm sitting out on the porch. So if you're watching me on YouTube, you can see I'm sitting out on the porch. It's probably one of my favorite places to be. We're transitioning into the summer months, and you can hear the birds chirp. Every once in a while, you can hear a chicken squawk. It's so comfortable. I'm actually in a sweatshirt. This period right now, this time when it's just a little bit cool in the morning and a sweatshirt is good with your cup of coffee. It's that to me, it's like you can hear the birds. It's delicious. And then since we're having to redo the house, one of the things I'm actually adding here on the porch is a heater, so I can continue to enjoy this well into the fall season. It doesn't get so cold here. It gets really cold, I guess, December, January, February, but then it starts to warm up in the spring. But I thought what I would share with you today is really the power of a low ticket product that sells every single day, even when life doesn't go as planned. And the reason I want to talk about it in terms of when life doesn't go as planned is I think one of the hardest things to do as a human in your life and also in your business is to be consistent. The beautiful thing about repeatable processes is that helps to keep you accountable to consistently implement. I know, and I've said it over and again, the one of the most consistent systems I've ever used really is in my life with the kids' chore chart that we ran for 15 years when all four kids were still here. You're like, well, why are you not running it now? Well, they've all graduated and they're in school. When they come home in the summer, there's two home this summer, they still help me with things, but now it's on me. It's on me and Daniel, and we kind of divvy up those chores. But I want to talk about how that low ticket helps you with consistency, because I think we talk about low ticket as passive income. I don't think that there's passive income out there. For me personally, I know that I am always improving any of my low tickets, whether that is my template, whether that is my membership. I'm constantly thinking of ways to help the customer get to their end goal through my product. And I mean, the business command center itself, that particular template, I think we're, I don't know, third or fourth version of that, based on changes that my customer has asked for, based on changes that Trello with their updates have made. AI. I mean, there's so many things there that give you the opportunity. I think that's a good thing about being a business. But in thinking about passive income and really that underlying problem that we all need to tackle is consistency, because on some days you feel unstoppable in business, right? And other days, kids are sick, laundry's piling up, your brain feels fried. For me, the thing that's constantly running in the background is that template. Even on those hard days, even on those days where I'm not on, even when I'm unplugged. And that to me, like the unplugged part, let's just talk about that for a second. Because for me, the unplugged part is, in programs where I'm a coach, those are time blocks in my calendar. And what if I'm on vacation? What if we're going to Maggie's graduation? What if there's a holiday? Do you still show up? How do you reconcile a program that people are paying you for, where you have to show up for, versus things that you want to do in your life and other things that come up in your life, emergency situations? And so I think having something constantly just running in the background is a good thing. And so I want to talk a little bit about why I stopped chasing energy dependent income. And what I mean by that is coaching programs. At the end of last year, it was a really big eye opener for me. There were so many things that happened to me personally, good things, like really good things, kids graduating from high school, kids graduating from college, kids getting their first big corporate job, my husband's promotion. But there were also things that were very sad for me, with my mother's passing, with the tree falling through the house. I mean, those are, and I say all of those things to you. And just like thinking about it, like one of those things would just be a really big thing. But it was almost like, Rhonda was standing there and it was like fire hose, open, close, open, close. But luckily for me, I said, I've made the mistake in the past where I have just kind of turned off the template. And I was having fun with my clients. I was having fun in my membership. I was having fun with one-on-one clients at my coaching program until I wasn't. And it's why I talk so much about like putting bumpers on the amount of things that you do in a day. You can do 50 things in a day. I'm not saying that you can't, but doing that consistently over time, and then life events happen and interrupt that, that's, I think, where burnout happens. I think it's that emotional. There were a lot of high highs last year, and there were a lot of low lows in conjunction with running your business. And so a repeatable process, selling a low ticket behind the scenes that's constantly generating new customers while things are great, while things are bad, both personally and even professionally. For me, what I've discovered has been a really smart move, and it doesn't drain my energy. It allows me to say, you know what? I don't want to work with one-on-one clients right now. I need the time for myself. Or, you know what? I don't want to run a coaching program right now. I need time for myself. I don't feel like I am on this treadmill. And I think really the past, I would say at least 6 months, is just figuring out how to restore my energy, both personally and in my business. And not to say that a template is, or even a low ticket digital product is the answer. I don't want to, I don't want to paint just like the rosy picture, because when you go all in on just one thing, like the template, then I mean, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, just like you do if working with clients or having a coaching program. For me, it's just the consistency each and every day. And it helps to create momentum, and it continues to encourage me, and it helps me to put together my product suite. And I think a lot of people say, well, what are all the things that I need to sell? I think the first thing that you need to sell is just the first template. I did a live stream the other day, and it was fantastic. Like between the feedback in the feed and her expertise, listening to how she was talking about her product, what came to my mind in the words that she was using, I'm like, the things that you're talking about right now, that's kind of like your premium, your back end. We need to start at the beginning and let someone choose what their customer journey is. And so I think that a low ticket digital product helps with consistency, and it helps to manage the season and cycle of energy that you have, I think. Um, Obviously, I love those daily notifications of that I've made a sale. And I do that and I check it through. I send video messages to everyone who purchases from me. I kind of crave, for my customer experience, I crave what feels like an interactive experience. If I had a brick and mortar shop where you came in and you could see me, I think it's so important. And in today's digital age with video, there's really no excuse of why you can't do that or why you can't shape that. A lot of times, so much is focused on, what can I sell? What can I sell? What can I sell? And we put it together. Let me throw it out there. But I think kind of shaping that customer experience changes, and people have to get accustomed to your brand. Don't get me wrong. I know, like right now, currently in some of my ads, people who have never purchased from me like to share their experience. I don't know. It's like giving the world a megaphone, right? You give them the opportunity to make comments, but it helps the algorithm, and I manage it. If it gets too nasty, I don't mute it, but I do respond to it because I know as a company what I do, what I invest in, the tools that I spend every single month for my customer, and how I show up and the things that I do for my customer. I know that we go above and beyond, and it's what I want to do. I don't want a pat on the back for doing it. I I want to stand out in the crowded market. I want my people to know what they just purchased is a support community that can help them with their time management. It can help them with their business organization. It can help them in creating repeatable processes, and really at the beginning, the start of their business operations. And why is that so important? Why is that my critical mission? Because I understand the importance as a woman for carving out space for myself, doing my thing. I never apologized for wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't think we would be parents. And so I wanted that opportunity. I never thought we would homeschool for 15 years. My goodness. And I doubted a lot of those years, but I'm so thankful for that opportunity. At the same time, I realized I needed to do some things for myself. And that meant figuring out my way in the world, in the online world. Um, After having run my business for, I think I ran it for about 12 years before I transitioned online. And I did that because I felt like I could make a greater impact in sharing with people how to simply solve these big, overwhelming friction points that were holding them back. I love the idea. We're getting ready to leave for a holiday weekend. And I love the idea that just because I turn on my notification that we're out of the office, that something is quietly running in the background. And Lord knows I don't have the energy to do that 24/7, 7 days a week, right? Um, and I think what I'm planning more for with my low ticket, with my template, with my digital product is more of wanting to still be available for my kids. I think it's interesting. So, two have graduated from college. One has been in a corporate job for about 6 months. One just started. Well, she kind of started during the semester. But there are a lot of life questions when you're just getting started that they have questions about. And I like being available for those. For my younger two, one is a rising junior, one's a rising sophomore. Um, two very different schools, two very different personalities, but both are going through big life moments. One is doing an internship with the Air Force this summer. Like, so excited for him, and he gets to be with my older son, so that's like super cool. The other just finished up his freshman year, decided he wanted to transfer, got accepted to his new school, just purchased his first car by himself with his money, and is working at a summer job where he is so super excited about. And so there are lots of things happening there as well, lots of new responsibilities. And so I just like being available. I just like being present. And it will never be for me, oh, I wish I would have been here, or I wish I would have done that. So I think that I'm also making space for, as soon as this house renovation is done, Daniel and I, we have talked about it for years. And I say years because Maggie and I first started using Sprinter vans. We would rent them when she would have really long trips for soccer tournaments. And I fell in love with them. And things have just gotten in the way. It's like time or money, time or money. And I've never diverted the time or the money to this one dream. And when the big house is done, we are actively looking for the Sprinter van. So I am making space for Daniel and I to travel in the Sprinter van, which I'm super excited about. But I also don't want to give up what I've built and how I show up weekly. There may be things that I need to adjust. Number of days that I work, how I produce my content, those sort of things. But it really, for me, the catalyst to work with me all starts with my low ticket template. Now, I'm getting ready to launch a new workshop, turn what you know into a template. And something else has come up in all of that I'll launch another workshop this summer. So I'll have 2 new workshops this summer. But I'm starting to dabble with the idea when I have launched Turn What You Know into a Template to offer my 3 templates as a front end offer. So here's what I mean by that. And this is not where you start. You start with just one. So we have the Business Command Center, and that is running in the background every single day. What gets to be fun is when you have your product suite, which my customer tells me what that product suite is, and I'm just documenting my processes and sharing it with it in template format. That's what I'm doing. We have Simple Social that in a episode I share with you, we've sold about 500 at the time of that recording was 592 in about a month and a half. So I'm thinking about using that as a front end offer into my product suite. And then we're getting ready to launch. I've got 2 more videos to record, the Client Command Center. And all 3 of those templates are at different price points. So the Business Command Center is $27, the Simple Social is $19, and the Client Command Center is $47. So I think that it gives an opportunity for a customer to choose which customer journey that they want. So if they're coming in from, I need help with business organization, that's where they start. If they come in, I need help with mapping out my social media post and noting which is the most engaged post with your stoplight method, Simple Social is great. And the Client Command Center, that literally are people asking on my onboarding call on Tuesdays, how do I manage my clients with Trello? Well, let me show you. And what's interesting about that and how that came about, and I should just do a whole episode around that, is they would ask me and I would share live on the call. And they would say, okay, I need to get access to that replay so I can basically recreate what you've done. So in my mind, after, I'm not kidding, like week after week after week, people asking and me doing that demo live, I thought, why don't I just do one and put everything that they need and the how I work document, the Slack 101 document if they use Slack with their customer. All of those templates I can put on there that they really just have to focus on customizing those and they can be up and running. Like I would have loved that just starting out 6-7 years ago on mine because it took me forever to onboard my customer. What if I just gave you that SOP? What if I gave you the offboarding SOP, the testimonial SOP, the email templates? Like when I went in to start documenting that process and updating even what I used, I'm like, this, I just had it was fantastic. I had a super fun time doing it, and I'm excited about sharing that. So if you're looking for that link, go into the community because you'll find it there, you'll find it there. I'm also going to do some things that makes it easy to see all of the different products. I don't offer too many. And I think I'm done. And I'm always when I think about products, I think, okay, how does this fit into my current ecosystem? And that's kind of a filter. And so I hope that today's episode gave you a little bit of insight into, like, one of the hardest things that we do is being consistent. How can we be consistent? Creating repeatable processes. What is a repeatable process? Selling a low ticket. And selling that low ticket really helps it's a gatekeeper, whether you're having a good day or a bad day. And it also helps you to decide, am I high energy? And do I want that high energy with one-on-one clients? Do I want that high energy with coaching program or a larger program? You get to decide. It's almost like you can throttle faster or you can throttle slower. And depending on your season of life and where you are, like as we're transitioning into the summer months, you may want to throttle back on customers and ramp up your digital product, because that digital product, the versatility of it, and I've done an episode on this, someone can buy a $27 product from you and then turn around and purchase an $18,000 product from you. I know because it's happened to me. That $18 or that $27 product can sell your whole product suite. It can nurture your customer. If you get them results, you will have a customer for life. Whether they join your membership, whether they join your program right now, continue showing up, because you're not juggling all the things and you have something that's repeatable and consistent. It's the thing that sets you up for success. And that's what I'm all about. So if you haven't already, I hope that you'll join me. Turn what you know into a template. That is my new workshop. I hope that this gets your wheels turning on, she's in my head. She's in my head, like on those days when, not so good days, when I'm not on, or even when I want to unplug. How can I still be generating revenue without being present? For me, what I'm going to share with you to launch is a low ticket template. All right. Until next week, take care. We'll talk soon.